sense.
Makes sense.
So then, like, I remember when the N64 came out, like Toys R Us had like all the demo units set up with Mario 64 and Blockbuster. You guys working on relationships like that to have things like that set up for this fall as well?
Yeah, I can't speak to anything specific, but we definitely want to get, I think it's going to be 7,000 to 8,000 interactive units out there, in time for launch. So as we get closer, October, November time frame, you'll be hit over the head when you walk into the store. Here,
that's what our readers want to know. We're very fortunate that we go to things like E3 in space, or some of the other gamer events. But they obviously, there's millions of kids out there.
Yeah, we have some other
controllers.
We have some other activities that'll be happening that we'll be, talking about in the next coming weeks. More opportunities for kids to get their hands on the systems. So in addition to what we do at retail, some other kind of sampling programs. So.
Are you mainly targeting kids, or would you be?
Yes. It's, I know. Because, our philosophy is, kind of all family entertainment, so there's going to be something for everyone. We're not going to abandon the young market because, they go out and they buy games. They have the income, they're the ones given, they don't have the competition out there. They're not buying cars, they're not doing this, not doing that. So gaming is an important part of their life, so we're not going to abandon that group. But yet, because of the nature of the games that we're bringing out, it's expanded a bit. It's very different from where we were 5 years ago with N64, with a bigger library, more sports titles, M-rated titles. So a function of what we're bringing out, our marketing efforts will be, will expand a bit.
Well, it looks like, at least from the video that we saw of the first, second, and third parties, Soul Calibur's one of those. And that's more of a fighting game, which is, really isn't too heard of. N64 didn't have a lot of fighting games, and the ones that were there, well, they weren't like Soul Calibur 2, I'll just put it that way. Is Nintendo seeming to branch out a little bit more than, well, I know we just talked about this children's kind of maybe it's regurgitating the same question, but are they looking to really do more well-rounded?
Yes, no, exactly. We will never be the company that wants to go out there and have 600 games at launch. That's not our philosophy and never will be. But we want to make sure that we kind of cover those key genres. So, you go and buy a system, and there are 5 of you living in your household, and maybe you all have different tastes. You like puzzle games, you like adventure games, the other person likes racing games. There'll be something for everybody at launch, so that's important.
The 64 had a noticeable lack of RPGs as well, as whatever you were on about.
Well, that's true.
Well, they had two.
Looking at Room, that at least, I've only seen a couple screenshots so far, but from what I've seen, it's like the RPG people out there that complained about the 64 really won't have a whole lot to say. At least I don't think so.
It's actually the good old days like the SNES when there was just tons of quality. Yeah, no, it's good.
Does Nintendo have, looking at the third parties and things like that, with going back to the N64 days, there was kind of a dream team that was there. Is there a new dream team at all?
Not really. I don't think we look at it that way because we certainly have our core group of second-party developers, certainly our in-house people, and then second-party. And then, a lot of third parties who have come on board to develop just because, good things about the system. It's very easy to develop for. We changed gone from cartridge now to disc-based medium, which has helped. So now we really didn't take the tact of, dream team like we did back in the N64 days. But it's more of just, good games, good software for the system. Focus on that.
Memory card capabilities right now, we're looking at the memory card 59. Will that be the same name in the US?
Yes.
And then will we be getting bigger memory cards, or will that flow into the SD days?
I'll have to find out what the plan is for that. I know initially it's just the memory card 59, which don't ask me what that means because I don't know where the name. Good, you know more than I do. I just saw it. Like, where did this name come from? So anyway, so that's at least a start, and we'll see what happens. Certainly down the road.
So nothing. I mean, because I just got that digital video camera that I have. It's got the SD disc in it.
Yeah.
So we don't. There's no plans right now. Using that for a memory card yet. So that won't
Not that I'm
probably
aware
see
of.
it until like after 2002.
Yeah, not that I'm aware of, but I can check on that for you.
Okay.
I was curious why Nintendo, I guess, allowed Panasonic to have the technology in their system. What the reason was behind that?
Well, they're a partner of ours because we work with them to provide the digital music. I can't speak today, but the optical disc drive. So it's just a partnership. I mean, we've aligned ourselves with some key partners for the system. Panasonic, I'm used to being one. IBM for the CPU.
Sony has a DVD system in there. Is it kind of like a way for Nintendo to combat that without doing it themselves, possibly?
I don't know if it's so much that. I mean, our focus has always been on the gaming side. I mean, maybe it's another way to get our gaming system out there as opposed to the other way around. Again, we never wanted to be a DVD player, a music system, or anything else. We want to be a gaming system. But
This is kind
that's
of
our focus.
multiple options if they
Yeah.
wanted something like that.
Yeah, that's probably a good way to look at it. And again, I don't know what the plans are for the U.S. market because they haven't announced anything. And it may be, see what happens in Japan, and then down the road, see what happens in the U.S. But,
How many titles, first, second, and third parties for U.S. launch?
first party, well, you've got in our press kit, you've got the list. I don't have exact dates because all the third parties are sort of figuring that out. Now that we've set a solid street date, I'm sure they'll start coming out with their specific dates. But looking between launch and holiday, at least 17 titles, maybe more.
Okay.
So between, and again, you're going to get, certainly from Nintendo, you've got Luigi and Pikmin and Eternal Darkness and Smash Brothers. So a nice array and wave race there. And then from the third parties, whether it's Super Monkey Ball from Sega to, I think Madden, from EA. So you've got some sports games, some puzzle games, racing games, kind of runs the gamut.
Oh, wait. Do you know why or what's going on with Kameo Elements of Power? Because we didn't see anything. Yes, like at E3 they were showing it and it was playable.
It was always planned for next year, so it's still on the schedule for sometime next year. Yeah. There's a lot you're not seeing.
Well,
It's being worked
speaking
on.
of next year, we saw, Mario and Zelda.
Zelda.
They said summer for Mario and Christmas for Zelda. Is that Japan or is that
That's Japan.
U.S.?
Don't have dates yet for U.S. It's a little too early.
So it could slip into 2003 then.
I don't even, we don't have a date.
Guarantee you.
Okay.
I mean, obviously they'll get the game done, and then we'll know a little bit
Oh,
more
I
as
know.
we get into
I know.
months ahead.
I mean, I know Shigeru he didn't want to let a whole lot out there,
He didn't want to let anything out there.
Oh, I know, but thank God he did. But everybody,
Little
at
snippet.
home is, freaking out about it because, I was,
Somehow
I'd say kind of like,
screenshot got out.
yeah,
No one saw it.
yeah, Colin's shot, I think it was
Someone
right at the
took a
beginning
shot.
of Zelda with the sword right in the beginning. And everybody was like, whoa. And a lot of people, some people love it and some people hate it. There's it's kind of in the middle right now. And obviously, at least everybody that I've met at Space World and talked about it, they're like, what do you think? I'm like, it's awesome. And that's what everybody says.
Yeah.
But when you see it in motion, and obviously, when we talked to Shigeru, he explained, that's different directions and stuff like that. I forgot what I was going to ask. At least,
I don't know if you were asking or we were just talking.
just kind of explaining what
You were asking about next year titles.
Yeah, that's right. Release dates.
Yeah, so we really don't. So it's still unknown.
So no dates, yeah. I mean, the only thing we've sort of talked about is kind of what we'll have coming into the first quarter. NBA Courtside will be right after the holidays, and then Star Fox will be in there. So, and as we get closer, we'll make additional announcements.
Is there any reason Eternal Darkness was bumped from launch to November?
You mean December?
Even December. Okay.
December 3rd. Now it's 2 weeks after launch.
Okay.
It's just because we moved our launch date. And then so that'll come out on the 3rd.
Is it just to space things out
Space
a little
things
bit?
out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are there any exact price points for the games themselves right now? Because I know the Japanese ones have exact price points, but I really didn't see anything in the press release.
Yeah, it was in our press release for our first party stuff is $49.95. Our suggested retail price. Third parties wanted to make their own announcements. What they're
I know the Game Boy Advance, all the Nintendo brand ones were always $34.95 in most stores, and then all of a sudden the third party ones for some weird reason were higher. So I usually don't see that, so that's why I was wondering if there was any specific thing.
Yeah, you'd have to ask some of the third parties for their own pricing information.
When do you think we might start seeing the games that include the Game Boy Advance and game connectivity
Was
in
it?
the US?
It won't be this year. Probably sometime next year. We'll see what kind of products come along to support that.
It's on the floor. I couldn't believe that.
Is it down there? I haven't walked around
it's
yet.
down there.
Can you play it?
Yeah,
Is it?
it's
Oh,
playable.
cool. Oh.
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
So you haven't tried it yet?
No. I just saw it and I was
We
like,
each got a chance to play pretty much one game before we came here to the interview. So.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't. I'm sure that was great.
Push the button, and like after 5 minutes, it just takes us sort of like walking around. And like,
Yeah, no, I haven't walked around yet, so I have to go and see the Kirby thing. I didn't know if they were going to have it or not. It's great.
I was surprised to see that.
Good.
I actually only have one more, one Game Boy Advance question, and that is, so right now we've got the four colors? Yeah, 4 colors for Game Boy Advance in the US. We've got indigo,
Yes, we brought fuchsia,
white,
yes.
and fuchsia.
Glacier.
I'm
get the names.
a sucker for all the different colors and things like that. Is there any possibilities that we might see some new colors come around holiday time?
I don't know about a holiday, but certainly, again, I mean, our track record speaks for itself. I mean, we tend to, come out with that, and it's, a way to, breathe some new excitement, I guess, into a hardware system. So certainly down the road, I'm sure you will see additional colors. But as far as in the short term, nothing planned at this point.
Because the Pokemon Center in New York opens, I guess, around Thanksgiving this year.
Yeah, I don't know the exact details.
But is there a possibility that those colors could be available there?
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do.
no,
I got to go ask Pokemon folks.
I have a kind of strange question. Every single time a new system's come out, Nintendo a little bit later has redesigned their old systems. Is there any plan to do that at all with the Nintendo 64?
No.
Not at all.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No portable version of the... Yeah,
Well, they've done that with the Famicom.
Do we
and
do
the Super
64?
Famicom. They redesigned that one too.
I'm forgetting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see.
But no plans to convert
It kind of, sort of combination of things. Like there's a lot of software out there still to support the hardware system, but see what happens. I don't know. No plans at this point.
So we've seen the last of the N64 titles from Nintendo.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have anything right now on our launch schedule, at least in North America. And whether anything comes out next year, it's probably pretty doubtful. I mean, we're definitely shifting towards Nintendo GameCube. I think there are some third-party things still coming this year, and it's still a great system for somebody who's just let's say entering the video game market, just starting to play games. Certainly it'll be a great price point, and it has a fabulous library of games at this point. So it's got Mario and Zeldas and Mario Parties and Mario Karts, everything else.
Are there any official price drops coming down for the Nintendo 64?
Not at this point.
You have the Nintendo Power now, and you also have the Nintendo Power Advance. With the GameCube being launched, is there any plans to branch out again and make a GameCube-specific magazine, or is it pretty much just going to stick with the two?
Well, you've got it. I mean, the Nintendo Power's focus will really shift towards covering that, so no plans to do that.
It's pretty much going to become the GameCube version.
And we wouldn't really have much for Nintendo Power.
Right.
So,
N64 gamer, and now with the sort of, there's not much happening on the N64, so now we're Nintendo gamer, because now we're Game Boy Advance and GameCube.
kind of
Still called N64, we're about Game Boy.
yeah.
It'd be weird.
Yeah.
Will Nintendo take advantage of the small disc media to publish demos quarterly or with Nintendo Power?
Into that, see the feasibility of doing that. I mean, sometimes when you have a game, it's difficult to just take a portion of it and put it onto a disc.
Everybody wants that.
Yeah.
That seems like.
We
That's
learn this every
definitely-
day. Are you going to have demo discs? Are you going to have demo
Certainly
discs?
something we're looking at, to see how. Obviously, we need to get the hardware system out there so people have something to play a demo disc on. But, we're looking into that kind of thing. Yeah. But certainly switching medium, the medium allows us to do different things that we couldn't before with cartridge. Yeah.